Hello, people. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I hope you're having a good Sunday night wherever you are. I've had a shit Sunday to a point. Dealing with wankers, mate, on social media. Do you know what I mean? And you are wankers out there, and you know you are. Do you know what I'm saying? To my right is Jay. You know who he is. Lucas will be along shortly, and we're here to talk about Newcastle United versus West Ham United tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. This is the game. If he can't perform, he needs to fuck off out the club. Simple as that. Jay, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, you've summarised it, mate. We'll call it a wrap there, and hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. I'm good. We've had a couple of weekends without West Ham. I went and saw a really good band on Friday night, Fontaine's DC. If anyone hasn't checked them out, do. They're unbelievable. And spent a load of time with family, ready for it all to be ruined tomorrow. But happy to be back with you two gentlemen, and good to see everyone in chat. Lucas, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm all right. I'm still on island time, a little late, but we're here. Really not looking forward to tomorrow. I've been having a corker of a week, and I'm not ready for it to be ruined. So,
Mate, the beard's looking trim. You're looking
yeah,
sharp.
I
Like,
know.
oh,
Thank you.
can tell
Little
if you
tan.
what a couple of weeks about West Ham does for you. Like,
I know, mate. Look at him. Looks a new fucking man, but he'll be like a fucking homeless geezer by tomorrow night. Do you know what I'm saying? Lucas, I ain't spoke to you for a little while. I'm glad you're okay, mate. You had a good time away. News has come out that David Moyes could be going to fucking Leicester. What are we? First off, before we get to this preview, what do you make of that?
Um,
And his
all
first
in-
home game will be against us.
how beautiful would that be, huh?
You know.
I'm sure everyone would be looking forward to that, and everyone would love that. But yeah, it's incredible news. I would not expect that, but hey, you never know in this game.
I know, mate. I know. I agree. Right, let's talk about tomorrow night. Jay, it's not looking good, mate. But we're running out of time. Um, and we've got a manager in charge that's got to perform. What are we expecting tomorrow night for you, mate?
a lot of goals conceded. If I'm honest, I like to try and look at things like factually and go, here's where we'd have a chance, and this is what we need to do to beat them, lads. I just can't see it. I can't see it. I don't know any area of the pitch that we're going to be able to deal with them. And it's worrying. It really is worrying. I think I said it last time as well. Salute to anyone who's making that journey. Maybe there's some people out there who are already in Newcastle, ready for the game tomorrow night. Like, I absolutely take my hat off to you. Like, it's unbelievable effort from our away fans, and they deserve a lot more than they're probably going to get tomorrow. So I can see it being pretty much the same as normal, and us probably being asleep for the first 70 minutes and then only waking up after the game's dead. And we'll give it a go for the last 20. I think it's a slippery slope, lads. I don't know about you. I've seen this debate on social media. I'm interested to hear what you boys think of it. Where it's like Lopetegui's got 2 more games to save his job. Effectively, he has to get a result in these 2 games. For me, if you're going to make the change, why not have just got it done over the international break? Get a new guy in, give him 2 weeks with the players to try and get his ideas across, and then give him 2 free hits in the first 2 games, so that then you've had 4 weeks before going into the serious run of games. But a lot of people look at it, that I've seen anyway, and yeah, I'll be interested to get your guys' opinions. And they say, well, what's the point in getting a new manager in before these 2 games? You might as well lose the 2 games and then get the new manager in afterwards. And I'm like, I don't know. What do you boys think?
I think they're on fucking gear, mate, if they want us to lose. For fuck's sake. What is it with these cunts? I'm going to say this, right? I look to the camera. What is it with you cunts who keep wanting us to lose all the fucking time? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want us to fucking lose. I want us to win. Fuck's sake. Right. First things first. Number 1, it should have been done in the international break. You're not a dumb cunt, Lucas. You're not dumb, Jay. My fucking chat's not dumb. Right. It should have been done in the international break. Common sense. International break, 2-week break. You bring someone in, you integrate them into the side, you use the Newcastle game as a free hit, and then basically the Arsenal game, everyone's up for. Like, I'm not being rude and I think, yeah, but what is it with these fans, these so-called West Ham fans that want us to keep fucking losing all the time? Do you know what I mean? Don't want us to lose for the sake of the manager. The manager should have fucked off ages ago. And that's on the owner. It was a fucking wrong un, right? So let's not fucking keep wanting us to lose all the time. That question, Jay, is quite simple, really, right? It should have been sorted out before. Yeah, other teams are acting right now. Why are they acting? Because they're concerned about their status in the Premier League, right? Leicester have acted. Wolves are starting to pick up another gear. I see them yesterday against Fulham. They look fucking good. Do you know what I mean? And with Wolves, they always start slow and build up momentum and then sort of see it out. Ipswich tonight, I'm telling you something now. Mark my words on this. Ipswich stay up. I'm saying it as clear as day. Ipswich stay up this year. Yeah, because they run and run and run and don't stop running. Right? Palace is an interesting one for me. It could be the year that they could go. Southampton are gone, and there's another space there. Everton, us. If we don't sort ourselves out right now, we're in trouble. Yeah, we're in trouble. But I don't blame the fans for this situation. I blame one man, and that's Sullivan, because he's allowing it to carry on, like a bit like Harry allowed it to carry on with Moyes last season. Didn't tell the fans nothing, left it, and it all come out. So yeah, I don't get it.
I think
Lucas, go on, mate.
I think what you said first, Jay, it just common sense, I feel like, never prevails, because the first thing you said, I wanted to respond, it makes too much sense. Of course, that's not why we're doing it. But I don't know. For me, it would have to be like a very egregious or insane situation for me to like hope West Ham lose, or I wish they lose. Like, for me, it doesn't matter who's at the helm. I want us to win, because you never know what loss can set you back. For all we know, this win could spark something. This loss could send us down an absolute well, an endless hole of misery. So I don't know. I'm not one to wish to lose for like a manager to get sacked, because that just leads down so many different types of avenues. You guys know where I stand with Lopetegui. I don't know. It would have to be something egregious, like Sullivan leaving. Like, if we lose tomorrow, Sullivan's gone. I'm the biggest Newcastle fan there is. But that's literally the only way.
Even that, I find it so hard. I really do. I find it so hard to want West Ham to lose, because when West Ham lose, it hurts. And any person who's a true supporter of this club, and I mean a true supporter, someone who fucking would die for this club, wouldn't want West Ham to lose ever. Yeah, I would never want West Ham to lose in any circumstance whatsoever. People wanting us to lose, I just don't get the mentality of it. Yeah, because us losing doesn't change the fact that Sullivan holds the fucking keys to the door. Do you know what I mean? And he's the one that you need to fucking put the pressure on. We could lose the next 5 games. If Sullivan ain't going to change, then what? Oh, we lose the next 5 and the next 5 after that. Get in the fucking real world. Sullivan's the problem. Always has been, always will be. And until he is put pressure on, either financially or in the media, nothing changes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? I feel like smashing my face off that fucking wall. Keep talking about the same thing. I know I'm losing my rag on this one, but I do, Lucas. You know how much I preached this last year, right? I was praying to fucking Jesus of fucking Nazareth last year, right? Saying, stop looking at the manager, start looking at the ownership, right? And people keep thinking we're going to lose and Sullivan's just going to go, oh, that's it. Yeah, fuck it. Right, we'll get him out. Moyes lost a lot of games for us. For how much I backed Moyes up in certain moments, right, before we move on, Moyes lost a lot of games for West Ham, yeah? And there was times where he saved his skin by fucking, like, by his fingernails, right? The issue is, this is on Sullivan, mate. And it doesn't change until he makes the call, yeah? And I hope, I fucking hope and pray that he does make the right call soon. Because I'm nervous about the next, especially now, if Leicester go and get a manager in, they're going to use their first home game as a fucking sort of bounce back ability, as Ian Dowie would say. So, you know, it's classic moment. Yeah. Lucas, what are you thinking about tomorrow?
I'm not very positive, to be honest. I'm kind of in the same boat as Jay. I just don't really see what area of the pitch we can really get after them at. I mean, the obvious one I would say is their defense. Their defense, individually, they've got, in my opinion, very good players, but they just haven't worked well as a unit the past couple seasons. But I feel like that's the obvious point to get at. But again, we don't really get at defenses, do we? So can't really target that area. But if there was one, it's them. But yeah, I don't see us defending well because we really don't sit in the low block. I think we've done it once or twice at most this season. Midfield is a mess, as always, our biggest issue. And yeah, I don't see it. I don't think we'll get swept away. I think it'll be, in terms of the score, I think it'll be an all right match. I think we'll be in it the whole entire time, but I'm just not confident with getting a result, especially away. Newcastle is tough.
He's going to have to do something, mate. If he wants to save his job, and these players want to save this manager's job or head coach's job, they're going to have to do something tomorrow night. And they're going to have to show us as supporters of this club and all them travelling fans that have travelled all the way up there tonight and all the ones who have been there over the weekend and all the ones who are travelling tomorrow. You have to give us something to be positive about, because there is nothing to be positive about at the minute. Like, I could sit here and I'm trying to go through what could be positive. There's not a lot. So he's going to have to give us something tomorrow night. And that means a performance of 90 minutes of pure grit, determination, and be proud, yeah? And them away supporters, not only be entertained, I keep hearing this word entertained, it fucking drives me mad, but a positive result. Because you can be entertained for 90 minutes, but if you don't get a positive result, it means fuck all. It really does. Jay, anything else you want to add on before we get to the start?
I was just going to maybe on Newcastle, just talk a little bit about the status of their squad and who they're actually missing. They've got quite a few absentees, just to maybe look at this from another perspective as well. Players that are out: Lascelles, Kraft, Botman. Byrne is suspended, which I didn't realise. He picked up 5 yellows. Wilson's obviously 50-50, but supposedly will be in the squad. Trippier is apparently like late fitness test. So that's a lot of defensive players that they're missing tomorrow. It's a shame that we couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo, but like at the same time, you know, there's a little glimmer of hope there that we might be able to create something. Who knows? Like this could be another like late Danny Ings show where he comes on and does something for us. You've got no idea, but it's always interesting to see. And I saw that we've had the fewest minutes lost to injury so far this season as well.
What a trophy for us.
So all those substitutions from Julen Lopetegui, we are top of the.
That's another thing we wanted. We wanted substitutions, and by God, we've got them this season. Let me tell you,
lads. I found some positives, so there you go.
There you go, mate.
But yeah, that gives us a little bit of a chance in my book.
Yeah. I will get onto that sort of towards the back end. Let's go to starting 11 to a point. What are we all saying? Obviously, is it Fabianski in goal, or does Ariola come back? What are we saying on that?
I don't know. I really think they're about as good as one another on their day. So I really could care less, to be honest. Whoever's the most healthy. Yeah,
I'd say it depends on how they've trained as well. Like if Ariola's training well, I've got no problem with him coming back in. But I couldn't agree more with Lucas. Like it's 50-50 either way. It kind of makes no difference to me. Start one of them.
I'm probably going to say it's going to be Fab. Right, left back Emerson. I think we'd all agree on that. Right back Wan-Bissaka. He's got to have a good game. Who's he going to be up on that right hand side? Is he going to be up against Gordon on that side?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah,
so
he's in for a tough time.
So he's going to have to be on it from minute one, Wan-Bissaka. Yeah. If Lopetegui says to him go forward and it allows Gordon space of like the whole of Gateshead, then that is just mad. Tadibo, Kilman. Right, midfield. It seems like we talk about this quite a lot every week, but Alvarez is going to be back. Does he play?
My least favorite talking point of this squad.
Carry on. I don't know what happened there.
I got it. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. We'll get there.
There we go.
My least favorite talking point of this whole entire squad, if I'm being honest, it's probably the most tasking discussion, topic, debate of all time. No matter what I say or what I put forward, it doesn't matter. They're all shit except for one player, Thomas Souček. And so really, just throw something at the wall. As long as Thomas Souček's involved, that's all I care about.
Could we see a return to that weird? I think Alvarez has to come in personally. Like, I don't want to see Guido Rodriguez start, especially if he's not happy at the club. Like, either sort yourself out or like whole bench. I'd rather we be giving like those minutes to Lewis Orford when he gets the chance. So I don't want to waste the minutes on Guido Rodriguez if he's not happy. Are we going to see a return to Alvarez playing that quasi half centre back, half number 6 role? I think we could see it because he's going to be terrified of Alexander Isak. He's going to be absolutely terrified of him. So I reckon he's going to employ him in that role and play Paqueta and Souček in front of him.
What I want really is West Ham to push Newcastle wide, and hopefully Alvarez can just sit in that sort of block and header everything away. Or Souček even, for instance, header everything away. Do you know what I mean? So when the balls are coming in for Isak, because that's the one where that's where we need to make him really, where balls come in. Like that. I agree with what Freddie just said there, yeah. Edson as a CDM, Souček and Paqueta. I wouldn't go against that. I really wouldn't. Even though Paqueta's been shit, he's better than what we've got in there, isn't it, at the minute?
That's all we got.
That's all we've fucking got.
I most certainly don't want to see the other Spanish butler in the midfield.
Would you agree?
Or the fitness instructor. I don't know what Carlos Soler is. Again, he's probably one of the nicest men on earth. Yeah. But I don't want to see him kick a ball. Is
that the 3-man midfield for you?
I think it has to be, doesn't it? It just has to be. Anyone, and I'm always interested in this conversation. People saying Paqueta has to be dropped. I'm like, for who? Like, I don't disagree that he's not been great.
Peloton instructor.
Like, this is the thing. Yeah. Captain Haircut could come in and just like not do anything, just run around a bit. Like I actually thought Paqueta was really good last time out against Everton. I thought he was probably our best player. I thought he looked like he was finding the pass. That second half, some of those passes were brilliant. So you take that out of the team, and that one like ounce of creativity that we've got is completely gone. So yeah, I think there is no other centre midfield like trio that you can play other than those 3 when they're fit.
If you do see Rodriguez, Paqueta, and Alvarez, will you be disappointed?
Yeah, I think so.
No Souček.
I feel like Souček's being a bit lost at the moment as well, because he's the only guy who, at the minute, when he gets the ball, he's improved on what he was traditionally bad at, which is he gets the ball and he bops it and he does the yards. And that's all you can ask of him, really, because we aren't playing to his strengths. We've talked about it before. We've got 2 wing backs who don't really know what to do in the final third and can't get a cross in. So Souček trying to like ghost in as the number 8 and trying to arrive late and offer like a presence in the box, which isn't working because we can't find him. So we're not seeing the impact of Souček in the final third, and we're not really noticing it in our own final third as well. So he's just kind of a bit lost in the formation. But despite that, he still gives so much structure in midfield. When we try and play in midfield without him, Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez just get cut through like a knife through butter. So I think I'll be really gutted for Souček if he doesn't start. But Lopetegui would want to have some like ace in the hole if he wants to drop Souček and play some different tactic. I've got no idea what it would be, but yeah, he wants to have something up his sleeve because it'll be a big decision for him.
If I had to pick a trio, I'd probably go Alvarez, Souček, Paqueta. I think
it has to be.
That's our best. And again, like Jay said, I think Souček just like I don't know how people don't see it, but every time he plays, he just makes us so much more formidable, more solid, and just balanced. And he is like that. I really do think he's that gap in between just a monstrous midfield and one that can at least operate and have a bit of edge about him. So
I completely agree, mate. I'm fucking nervous about tomorrow night, but I'll get to that at the end. Left wing, right wing, centre forward. I think we all know Bowen right, Somerville left, Mickey up front. Now I'm going to be honest. Antonio scored the last 2. Is it last 2 times? No, he scored 2 goals in the last 3 appearances there. If I got that right. He does like to score at St James's. He scored last season, and he scored when we won 4-2 a few years ago. Do you know what I mean? He didn't score in the 1-1 because it was Paqueta who got that goal. What are we saying about that front 3? How does that front 3 dent Newcastle to a point?
It possibly could, because I mean, like when Jay was reading off the injuries, right? I mean, when you look at Newcastle's predicted 11, they're going to be
Yeah.
lining up Fabian Schär and Lloyd Kelly, center half. So Lloyd Kelly, he's all right. Fabian Schär, probably the weirdest center half of all time. I think he'd be a better box-to-box midfielder if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they can be got at. Like, Schär and Kelly are not the most physical center half, so Antonio could make a difference there with this hold up and then just beating them up all day. On the wing, I think we can get after Livramento and Hall because, again, they're not really the most defensive fullbacks in the world, are they? But Livramento, I've always rated him. I would love him at West Ham, but we have Wan-Bissaka now, who's also pretty good. Lewis Hall, he's a bit hit or miss. I think he's a good player as well, but he's a bit 50-50. But I don't know. I think we can get after the defense if that's what they're going with tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I mean, what options? We don't have a lot of options. I mean, when does Kudus even come back?
Leicester. So yeah, that's more fucking good news.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to say is, right, because I've had this style of play argument all day, and it just grinds me. Yeah, when people keep saying that. What style of play would you gentlemen like to see tomorrow night in that with that team? Now, for me, I think West Ham have to play on the counter on this one. Sit back, try and hold Newcastle, frustrate Newcastle, and hit this team on the break. If we go toe to toe with this team, we're going to get done. And let's be honest, if we go 1-0 down early in this game, we could all be sitting there for 90 minutes going through pain again. Like, what do you think, boys?
I think it all depends on the lineup.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. If he's smart, then I'll say two things to this. One, on the style of play thing, I think I said it before. I don't care like what style we play with, as long as we actually believe in ourselves and actually have some fight. Whether we're going to come out and try and press them out the game and try and win the ball back, like go for it. But do it with like go 110% at it. And if you get done, you get done. But at least you give it everything that you've got. If you want to sit back, then be disciplined, concentrate, and like actually sit sensibly. And then when you counter, go. Like absolutely go. So I don't really care as long as we have that character that you want to see in a West Ham team. If it's me, I think there's one thing that I would do, and I would put Paqueta on Guimaraes, because that is like the kind of matchup where you will get the Brazilian trying to out-Brazilian the other Brazilian. And that is how you get the best out of Lucas Paqueta.
Could go incredibly right or very wrong.
Yeah, but they're best mates, aren't they? So I believe that if you sit him on Guimaraes and you give them just a one-on-one and make it right, go and outplay him, I think you get the best out of Lucas Paqueta again. I've talked about it before as well. Lucas Paqueta's breakthrough moment in a West Ham shirt was at St James's Park a couple of years ago. He played in midfield too with Declan Rice, and he was absolutely brilliant. And we played really well that day. We drew 1-1, and we played. Yeah, and he scored the goal, and he had a great game. And we came away with a point, and like deservedly so, and could have nicked it as well.
Back post off the corner, right?
Yeah. Did a somersault randomly and never did one again, which was really odd. So yeah, that's how I do it, lads. I just whatever happens, just go at them. Like give it 110%. I don't care what style we play. But just go at them.
I agree. If you're gonna go full out press, open style play, I want these guys to run around like kamikazes on the pitch.
They've got to care.
Yeah, and if they're gonna sit back, they gotta stay focused and just be smart. So, but for me, if I see Alvarez, Souček, and Paqueta, I really want us to sit back and counter, because again, I genuinely believe we have a very individually and collectively, I think we have a good side to counterattack. I
think their side is very good with like the likes of Gordon on the counter attack, Barnes, like fucking. All these players, Wilson loves to go against us. Barnes loves to go against us. Isak loves to go against us. And the fear is with me is that this could be a massacre. Like we could absolutely get fucking torn a new one up there. Yeah, if we go a goal down early. All I want to see from the boys tomorrow night is show that they care. Show that they care for the 5,000-6,000 that are in the stands. Show that they care for all the fans that are watching all around the world. Yeah, from East London to fucking Washington, DC. Yeah, just show that they care, right? And hopefully we can get a positive result out of it. The issue is that even with a positive result, I don't think it's going to be enough to save him to a point. Yeah, I'm hoping that this game will be the game, and after that, they will let Lopetegui go. But I don't know.
It's a weird line because I think, and again,
I agree on that comment, and Eamon.
I'm thinking of this from the middle, right? Where if Lopetegui was playing Newcastle at home and he got a draw, I don't know if that's good enough personally. But a draw away at St. James Park, I'd snap your hand off for. I think that is a good result. And if he were to lose, and let's be honest, we will probably lose to Arsenal. So a draw and a loss, again, it's another benchmark in the season where, okay, you got your 2-3 matches, show us something. And you got to be subjective about it, and you got to be fair. Like a point away at Newcastle for us is a good point right now. It is. And then losing to Arsenal. And really playing away from home is about the only reason that's a good result. If we were playing them at home and we drew, I think you could be a bit more, I don't know if it's good enough. So, again, it's a sticky one. I don't know. It's a sticky one.
I think for me, I just have to see something. At least I'll tell you what I'm going to say. I need to see something that I've not seen this season, and that means West Ham looking good on the ball, looking to build up play with a positive mentality, looking to try and score goals. Do you know what I mean? And obviously defensively, try and be as strong and solid as possible. It's going to be hard.
Defend in transition.
Yep,
would be my number one at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and like all this higher line stuff, yeah, but that's on Lopetegui yet again. If he's going to play a higher line, and as Eamon said in the chat, then I make 100% right, we're going to get fucking burnt alive if Barnes and Isak and Gordon are just sitting there waiting just to hit us over one ball over the top could kill us. So I don't know. Well, what we're saying about predictions, lads. Joe, I'll let you go first.
I genuinely see this being 3-0 to Newcastle. And I just can't see us having a way into it. I think they're better than us in every department so far this season. Eddie Howe's a brilliant manager. He's doing a brilliant job there. They are the epitome of they're proper passion merchants as well. Yeah. Under the lights at St. James's Park is not going to be easy for us, lads. So I don't like to be the doom merchant, but I think we get pumped, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I'll go next. I think we score in this game. I'm going to say that. Yeah, we've scored the last 2 or 3 times we've been there. I think it might even be more than that. 4 times that we've been there, in fact. The 3-2 defeat in COVID, the 4-2 win, the 1-0, and obviously the 4-3 one last year. So last 4 times we've been to St. James's, we've scored. So I believe we can score at this gaff. Yeah, and if their defence is a bit iffy, right, we could score. But it all depends if we score first or not. If we score first, we might have half a chance of getting something at this game. All about the first goal for me. If they score first, get the crowd up, yeah, we could get done 4-1, easy. Yeah, and not even they won't even break sweat. And it could be a Tottenham game revisited all over again, where we look like we're in the game, and then all of a sudden the game just gets taken away from us, and we're all sitting there going, "Well, what's happened there?" Do you know what I'm saying? But whatever happens, it's no fan's fault. It ain't mine. It ain't Lucas's. It ain't any other channel's fault. There's only one person that everyone needs to look at, and that's the owner, and say, right, we can't change it as fans, yeah, right, because we know he ain't good enough. What are you going to do, David Sullivan? So there you go. Lucas, what are you saying?
What was your score prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1. 3-4-1.
I'm going to be a bit more positive. I think I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. I think if they put out that defense that is predicted, I think we definitely will score a goal. But again, for me, it's always the same concerns. We get cut open. We transition into defense on counterattacks terribly. And that puts our whole back 4, well, back 2 when Emerson and Wan-Bissaka are all the way up, overlapping both Somerville and Bowen. It just puts so much pressure on the back 4 and our center halves. So, again, I will always emphasize that every single match against sides like Newcastle, who they're just so fluid in open space, and they have so many quality players. But I think we'll score, and again, it is a bit obvious, but whoever does score first, I think, is important because if we score first, I do believe Lopetegui would be smart enough that, like, you know what, all right, let's absorb the pressure a bit, hit them on the counter. Because if we go 1-0 up, counter them and go 2-0 up, I mean, we're singing. And I just don't think that will happen. But I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. I think it will be a good match, but again, we don't draw. Lopetegui doesn't like to draw. So I'm steering away from my Desmond prediction, which I always seem to go. But yeah, 2-1 Newcastle for me.
If he does get a positive result, now you got to look at a draw as a positive result to a point when we're shit. Does it save his job? Because for me, I personally believe now, with the sort of sacking of Leicester's manager, becomes a different game now altogether. Because now these teams are looking at it and thinking, right, we need to act now. And I'm a bit nervous, if I'm honest, because if he does get a positive result, which I want him to get a positive result, Sullivan will use that to his advantage and say, look, well, he's turned the corner.
That's really the only negative about it, really, because I think, like you said, if it plays out the way it could, and like I said, a result away in Newcastle is a good result, and then the Arsenal match is so subjective because, in my opinion, losing 3-0 to Arsenal, that's not good. You got walloped. But again, some people will be like, oh, but it's Arsenal. They're title contenders. 3-0, we'll just take it and move on. I don't really agree with that because, one, it's a London derby, and two, I just don't think we should be getting smashed 3-0. But again, that Arsenal match is all up for interpretation, and it's very subjective. I would say if we drew Newcastle away and we lost 3-0, that's right on the line, but I would say no, it's not good enough. But again, one more goal could mean everything. If we lost 4-0, he definitely could be out the door because it's inexcusable.
I think if we get hammered tomorrow and there is no change from Sullivan, I expect banners. I'll be straight. Like, if you're going to start pulling banners out for
keep
one
the
of
same
our
energy.
100% agree, right? If you're going to start putting banners out for Moyes, right, you got to start putting banners out for the owners of this club, because the owner of this club is doing fuck all about it. I'm going to be honest, lads. I'm fucking worried, mate. And people keep saying to me, James, don't worry about it. We ain't going to get relegated. But I keep looking at it and I think, Ipswich Town, I know mugs. I'm going to be straight. They've got no fear. Look at them today. They go 1-0 down. They managed to claw their way back, running around like nutters. Southampton are gone. So there's 2 spaces there available, right? I look at us and I look at Sullivan and I feel like this is Avran Grant all over again. They keeps giving him chance after chance every single time. And I'm nervous about this. I'm not going to lie. I need West Ham to start winning some games. And sharpish to a point. And not only win some games, but look better. At least try and look good. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know about you, Jay, but maybe I'm a bit over the top on this one. But I do feel a bit like, as a sort of threshold to a point, this is the threshold I'm at. I am worried now that relegation isn't like a million miles away, but it could happen. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's that phrase that gets thrown around, isn't there? That there's 3 worse teams than West Ham in the league, but like, it doesn't really matter. Like, all you need is one of those teams to stick 4 or 5 results together. Everton, for example, just seem to not lose at the moment. Like, they seem to constantly pick up results. They've lost 1 in their last 6 or something. So they're just casually just picking points up and grinding out results. I watched most of the Ipswich United game as well. I thought they fought really hard. Even Southampton, I caught a lot of the Southampton-Liverpool. They gave Liverpool a game. Like, they at least played with some fight, and Russell Martin's got them playing away, and they lost that game because of individual mistakes. They didn't lose it because they were outplayed. They made mistakes when they were playing out from the back because they are a championship-level side playing possession-based football in the Premier League. That will happen. But at least with these teams, there's fight and there's personality. We don't have either of those things. We don't have a defined style of play. We don't have a particular strength that we play to, and it doesn't look like anyone's bothered. And I agree with you. That is so similar to the Avram Grant season when he had no idea what he was doing, and none of the players cared, and we got relegated. So
in in the season, I don't know about you guys. The season seems to be going by a bit quicker than normal, in my opinion. It seems to be
Yeah.
flying a bit. And we're closely approaching that time in the season where we're not seeing it on the pitch. Results are the only thing that matters. So we're starting to toe a fine line in between salvaging something for the season or just we got to take whatever we can get. And for me, there's some people that are saying like, oh, we could save our season. We could fight for Europe if we get rid of Lopetegui now, blah, blah, blah. I think that ship is very, very close to sailing off. And we're just approaching that time of the season, especially now, no international break till March, where we haven't seen any performances. We haven't looked great. So really the only thing we can hold on to is results and hopefully not slide down the table. So for me, the ship of hoping for a good performance and maybe something capitalizing off of that, I think is sailing. And I'm getting to the point now where I don't care how it's done. I don't care what we do. We need to get points.
Yeah. I actually completely agree, mate. Like, it feels like the season's just slipping away. Like, I'm not being funny. It's Christmas next month. We should all be happy. Yeah, we're usually happy like this time of year when like Christmas is coming. You got games coming thick and fast.
Sorry, I just got PTSD of
I know
that time on Twitter when people I can't remember who done it, but there was a whole group of people just memeing this one guy about like, oh, it's three months till Christmas. We can't be doing this.
But like, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, Christmas is coming. Yes, like I love Christmas. Like the next person.
It's the best.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. When you got football and you got your team playing well over Christmas, you can have a beer. I love it. At present, every time I see what West Ham playing, I'm fucking worried, mate. I shouldn't be worried. That's the thing. I should not be sitting here going, we're going to get obliterated because we're better than that. And the problem is that I don't see where we go now. Do you know what I mean? Someone said to me a few streams back. Never forget what they said. Yeah, it stays up there with me quite a lot. They said to me, James, is this Lopetegui's like sort of bounce, and it's only going to get worse. If it gets worse, and we've got an owner who doesn't act, then we're fucked, mate. We are seriously fucked, big time. And for me, I'm just nervous. I really am. Do you know what I'm saying?
I genuinely don't think that he'll lose his job after tomorrow. I don't think we'll win. I've gone with my prediction. I think we'll lose 3-0, and I don't think he'll lose his job from it. I think he still goes into the Arsenal game. And bizarrely, I can see us like snatching a draw against Arsenal. I don't know why. It's just one of those games. And like to the way that we've discussed it, he'll just keep limping on and keep getting results just when he has to. And I think as we've kind of discussed over probably the last 6 weeks, we've talked about December, like being the time when, that's where your season is going to be made because we've got a lot of winnable games in December. The likes of Leicester, the likes of Wolves, the clubs that we didn't think we were going to be around, that we are now around, we're going to play them. So if he manages to even get a point from these 2 games, I think Sullivan will look at that and go, a point from Newcastle away and Arsenal at home, that's pretty reasonable. Let's give him Leicester and Wolves and see how we can do. So I don't see him going anywhere, lads. I genuinely don't think he will, but I do see if Moyes goes to Leicester, I do see him like doing all right with them. I do think that he'll get a tune out of what is a not very good squad there, and he'll keep him in the Prem. I can see that.
I actually agree with you on that. One thing I'm going to say, just for what you just said there about the next sort of 3-4 games, what I think is going to happen is whatever happens in the next 2, the Leicester game becomes the one where I think they judge him. And I honestly believe that if he's not sacked before the Arsenal game, he ain't going to be sacked after the Arsenal game because the Arsenal game's on the Saturday. On the Tuesday, we got Leicester. I reckon he gets sacked after the Leicester game, and it'll be the following Monday when we play Wolves. Will be the new manager's first game in charge on Sky. And trust me, that's what I believe happened. Under the lights, Sky Sports, West Ham's got a new manager. I can just see it happening, right? If it takes that long to get it done, then you know what? It is what it is. But fucking, it's on the owner, mate. I'm going to be honest. Before we wrap this up, it's on the owner. It's the final call with the owner now. Yeah, it's not us fans. We can ask for all these managers. There's only one man who fucking holds the keys to the fucking castle, the West Ham castle, and that is David Sullivan. Until he says fucking otherwise, we've got to suffer it. Fucking soon that cunt is out their club, mate. The better. I'm gonna be honest.
It's just annoying because, as we all know, we've been used to this ever since we started watching West Ham. Like under Sullivan, he always just seems to give the manager that obvious match to bounce back. And that's not a test or a benchmark or anything against Leicester. Like I expect anyone with the squad we have and almost any manager to beat Leicester, especially now in their current situation. And the real benchmark should be tomorrow. Newcastle, they sit ninth. They're a good side. They're not one of the best in the league, but they're very good. They will be fighting for Europe again, most likely. And if that should be the test. Not Arsenal, who title contenders, they will probably beat us. Not Leicester, who are relegation fodder. Not Wolves, they're starting to turn up a bit, but they are about on par with us right now. Like the tests that Sullivan gives out are like take home easy. Just go on Google.
Yeah.
Google those answers. Bring it back into class tomorrow.
I completely agree. I'm gonna get to Daniel's comment one second, yeah. But I completely agree with you when you say about the Arsenal game. Like that game, if that's a new manager in charge, that's a free hit game for him. Yeah, because he will get like I just want to say this quickly. He will get the fan base up for it. Whoever the manager is, whether it's Terzic, Potter, whoever it is, there's a feel good factor. Yeah. Well, let's hope not. But everyone's up for that game. At present, if I was to fucking put a poll out and say, "Are you looking forward to the Arsenal game on the Saturday night, 5:30, end of the month? Everyone gets paid. Everyone's on the piss. Are you looking forward to it?" 95% of the fan base say absolutely not, because they know what's coming. And for me, that's the problem. It's just a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Daniel says, what coach hits the ground running? Because if Lopetegui goes at Leicester, they will have to, and we're relegation fodder. Jay, what do you say about that?
This is the thing, isn't it? Because it's a really good question. You need someone to come in who's going to be a bit of a specialist in terms of taking an underperforming team and getting them playing again, kind of like what Moyes did, kind of like the old days of like Sam Allardyce, when Allardyce would just any team that was struggling at the bottom, he would go, right, I can sort your defense out, I can sort your lazy players out. It ain't going to be pretty, but I'll get you winning games of football again. And he did it every time without fail. And we shouldn't be looking at who can we go and get and dig us out of this mess, because the answer to that is different to who do you actually want at West Ham. And I'm kind of indifferent to all of the names that have been linked to West Ham. I think there's a bunch of guys that could come in and do a job. I think Terzic could come in and do a job, but I think he's more of the same in terms of style. I think he's more of the same in terms of the kind of things that frustrate a large area of the fan base will frustrate them again with him. But I do think he'd come in and probably steer us into mid-table. But is that what I really want for West Ham long term? Definitely not. We talk about this game. We should be fighting with Newcastle for that 7th spot. Like that. That's it. But
what is it? Right, because it's a good question to round up this video. What is it do you think, Jay, West Ham fans want? Because I use me as an example, right? I want better football. I'd love better football, but I want winning football, right? And my attitude is that it's okay looking good, but you've got to have an end product behind it. Yeah, you've got to have something behind it. Like with Moyes, I think the reason why I sort of not stood by Moyes, but I sort of said, you know what, fucking give him a break to a point, because he was getting results. It wasn't pretty, but we was winning games and we was getting up that fucking league.
And what have I always said about that question as well? I've said it literally for the past two and a half years. I've always said there are maybe a handful of clubs in the world that play beautiful football and get the results.
Yeah, it's
so like people that are saying, "Oh, why can't we do both?"
Listen, I want both. I love both.
The whole world wants both.
Yeah, I'd love both, right? If someone said to me, "James, you're going to get fucking Brazilian football and and we're going to win the lot," I'm all for that. But what it is, it seems like people keep using that argument, but forgetting that we've got to work to our advantage. Like, if we're going to start playing this possession-based game, First thing I'm going to say on that matter is we've got no possession based players other than them two centre halves. No goalkeepers out possession based. Jared Bowen's not a possession based player. He certainly isn't. He's more of a counter attacking player. Mo's a counter attacking player to a point. Like, so the question is, Jay, back to the question in hand, is what do you think the fan base want?
I think they want the kind of thing that I've said before, which is they want a team that fights and they want a team that actually believes in themselves. They want a team. There's this like reminiscence of how West Ham used to be at Upton Park, right? And in those days, we never played anything like crazy attractive. We never played any like stunning, amazing football. But when we got the ball, we went forward with purpose, and the fans would get behind the players, and it was fun to watch. Like that's all it was. It was like you felt involved in the game because of like the way that the stadium was and because of the way that the teams played. So I think teams want that. I look at, again, you look at Ipswich you've just played today, right? When Ipswich got the ball and they went forward with purpose. Not the best team in the league. They've still got a lot of championship level players, but they got the ball and they believed in themselves. They went forward. The fans loved it. They had a couple of chances. That's all it took. And I'd be happy with that. As long as it gets the fans behind the players, go forward and believe you can score a goal and look like you care. That's all that matters to me. And I think that's what the majority of fans would actually be happy with. But we're so far from that at the moment. It's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And because there's just been too many instances this season, especially Chelsea at home, when we're trying to press, and the press is just so embarrassing that Chelsea, they could have done it with their eyes closed the way they were passing out of the back. And really, I agree with Jay's testament. Like, fuck the identity, fuck the philosophy, whatever. Just show some fight, show that you care, and that can push us forward a little bit. Just play with some conviction. That's all we ask. We haven't done that all season. The only time we show conviction is last 5 minutes when we're losing.
One thing I will say, and I agree with what everyone's saying. I agree with what you're saying, people in the chat. I need to see some team spirit and all. The team spirit is non-existent at this club at the minute. It feels like the team spirit's gone from the past, and we've got all these players in that don't really know each other, and they're just having a kick about.
This is exactly what they're doing. They're waking up, they're driving to the ground, to the facility, and they're doing their job. They're not doing more. They're not doing less. They're getting up. They're doing their job, and that's going to get you nowhere in the Premier League. Absolutely nowhere. That gets you at most mid-table, like at absolute best. And with that approach, you're either going to get relegated or barely survive.
God bless, boys. Thank you very much, mate. I hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. Obviously, Sniffer's a Newcastle fan, and he's going to be enjoying it a lot more than us.
Thank you.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know what. Listen, I'm not saying I know it fucking all, but one thing I do know is that we need something. We need something back, and them travelling fans tomorrow night. I just hope the boys put in a performance that warrants the support that they get, because when you're travelling up to Newcastle, the longest journey in the Premier League on a Monday night, come on, you're gonna have to give something back to the supporters. Yeah, fuck me sitting in the boozer or any other man. Yeah, think of them fans who are up in the fucking terraces and up at the top tier of the fucking sky, and give something back to them. Because that's all I ask. Do you know what I mean? Like, because for me personally, I'm getting drained of it again. It seems like I don't know about you, Jay, right? But I'll ask this to Lucas. Do you feel drained at the minute? Because I feel fucking drained of this fucking club at the minute.
Mate,
honestly.
You know how happy I was to just sit in the sand, in a chair, right on the water in Cabo San Lucas, and not give an absolute fuck about what's going on with West Ham. It's been amazing. But that's why they call it a getaway, and now I'm back to reality.
You talked about like I'm totally with you. Like Christmas for me, like the amount of football that's on. Boxing Day is such a great day of football. Sit there like from the start of the first kickoff. I have a ton of beers in the fridge, and I just don't move other than to go and get another beer, and it's amazing. I'm just dreading. Do you know what? Do you know the best thing to look forward to sports wise at Christmas? PDC World Championship, the darts.
Hey.
Honestly, get the darts on. Like the darts is that now the best thing happening at Christmas.
Get
I
the darts,
absolutely
man. Come on.
love the darts. But it shouldn't feel like that, should it? And to Lucas's point earlier, it does feel like this season is flying by, probably because we're trying to avoid as much West Ham stuff as we can. Like, yeah, and this is so true. It would be the most West Ham thing ever to win tomorrow.
Yeah.
But,
you just know it, don't you?
Yeah.
You just know it's gonna fucking happen. I agree with you though. The darts is banging.
love it.
I'm currently watching the snooker as a bit of me, but you know, fucking Ronnie's out, twat. But yeah, it is what it is. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Smash a like on the video, goes a long way. And subscribe to the channel. Do you know what I mean? Oh, don't forget, I'm picking up the mugs on Wednesday. I was going to do it last Wednesday, but I'm picking it up this Wednesday. So if you want a mug for Christmas, we'll put you in the raffle, and I'll probably draw it out on my birthday, 16th of December, Bournemouth away. So that'd be fun. You know what I mean?
And one like equals one prayer for us.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah, just give us a couple of likes, mate. I'm fucking done with this YouTube game. All these wankers on social media, on X. I'm just going to say this before I wrap this up. Keep moaning and sulking and thinking. When you ask for facts, because that's what I deal with. I deal with facts, not fiction. They can't find one. You know what I mean? Biggest wankers going. So yeah, I hope that gets back to the people. Do you know what I mean? And the person who gaslighted a whole lot of them. I feel sorry for you all. I really do. Yeah, back tomorrow night. Lucas, are you with us tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be here.
Jay, are you with us tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here as well. Straight after the game. Can't wait to see you boys again.
You know, everyone will be here tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Is the main thing. If you want a mug, put in E20 mug for Christmas, or just call me a fat cunt, whatever you fucking do, mate. I don't give a fuck, mate. I really don't.
Fat cunt will enter you into the giveaway.
Yeah, listen, just like come at the fat cunt, mate. Come on, yeah. I don't give a fuck. But you know, it is what it is. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Come with me.